Welcome to AICT C Programming Tutorials. Lesson 1 Program Structure. C Programming Tutorial. C Programming is a general purpose, procedural, imperative computer programming language developed in 1972 by Dennis M. Ritchie at the Bell Telephone Laboratories to develop the Unix operating system. So the Unix operating system is completely developed with C programming language. At that time it introduced to the world. C is the most widely used computer language. It keeps fluctuating at number of one scale of popularity along with Java programming language, which is also equally popular and most widely used among modern software programmers. So we see why to learn C programming. Why to learn the C programming. C programming language is a must for students and working professionals to become a great software engineer, especially when they are working in software development domain. I will list down some of the key advantages of learning C programming. It's easy to learn. It's a structured language. It produces efficient programs. It can handle low-level activities. Right? Low-level activities mean machine language. Right? High-level language mean developing application softwares. Low-level language mean machine language, like making drivers, operating systems, like that. It can be compiled on variety of computer platforms. It can be compiled in variety of computer platform. It can be, we can use Windows, we can use Linux, we can use Mac OS, right? Mostly all the platforms can be supported. Facts about C. C was invented to write an operating system called Unix. Right? C is a successor of B language, which was introduced around the early 1970s. The language was formalized in 1988 by the American National Standard Institute. It's an ANSI standard. The Unix OS was totally written in C programming. Today, C is the most widely used and popular system programming language. Most of the state-of-the-art software have been implemented using C. Totally, most popular Linux OS and RDBMS. RDBMS means Relational Database Management Software, MySQL, have been written in C. So there is a software for database MySQL that's also written in the C programming language. Applications of C program. C was initially used for system development work, particularly the programs that make up the operating system. C was adopted as a system development language because it produces code that runs early as fast as code written in assembly language. Some of example of use of C programming language are operating system, language compilers, right? It means here also we are going to use a compiler. I will tell about something. about the compiler a little bit later. Assemblers, text editors, print spoolers, network drivers, modern programs, databases, language interpreters, and utilities. Right. Now we see in the next how to set up your environment. You are going to work with the C program. You are going to learn the C program. So you have to make your computer to suitable for that. You have to make the working environment with the C program. Right. So how we can use the make the environment. So if you want to set up an environment for C programming language, you need to follow the two software tools available on your computer. One is a text editor, just like Notepad or WordPad, right? Just to type a text codings. We need a text editor and the C compiler. So C compiler means, so it have to be translated the machine language. It has been translated to the machine language, right? See, any language should be translated the machine language. Machine language is binary numbers, 0 and 1s. So in the first generation of the language, they have written all the program in binary numbers directly, but it's very complicated. After that, they introduced the assembly language in the second generation, the third generation. So C programming is a third generation language. So here we will use some English, using English letters, some codings. So that should be translated to machine language. It means 0 and 1. So we need a compiler. To translate that one, we will use a compiler. That is the compiler. Right? So if you are going to write any third programming language, you should have to be compiled. You have to translate that one to machine language. So that is the compiler. So that is the compiler. So here see the source code written in source file is the human readable source of your program. It's human readable. It needs to be compiled into machine language so that your CPU can actually execute the program as the instruction given. CPU understand the by zeros and ones. So it should be translated to the machine language. For that purpose, we use the compilers. So there are, you can use any compiler, C programming compilers. There are a lot of compilers. Here in my case, in this course, I am going to use the Quincy compiler. We call Quincy compiler. It's free to download and you can use that one, Quincy compiler. I'm going to use that one. Right. So you can, here they have say how to install in Unix, Mac OS and Windows. Now we'll see the C program structure. Before we study the basic building blocks of the C programming language, let us look at a bare minimum C programming structure so that we can take it as a reference in upcoming chapters. So we will make a small hello world example just to print hello world in your screen. We will make a program just to print hello world in to print in screen. C programming basically consists of the following parts. One is preprocessor commands, functions, variables, statement and expressions, commands. Right. Now we'll look at this program. You have to, this is the program. So I'll type this program in the Quincy compiler. So you can click start or you can type here in your search. I'll type, so it's easy. Quincy. Click Quincy 2005. It's a compiler. Go to file, new, and when you click new, it asks what is the language. Here you can use the C++. This compiler is compatible for C++ as well as C programming also. So our one is C. press OK. So you'll get a new text editor here. Right. So here you have to type this code, right? You can't copy and paste, you have to type. That is the better practice. So this is the program. So I'll save this one. Make a folder in your computer. You have to show it to me after doing the exercises. Go to File, Save As, click Save As. So make a folder in your PC wherever you want. I will create a folder in my desktop. New folder. I will say C program. Right. You can create, and I'll go inside that folder and I'll give a file name. Whatever the project one, no, example one, right? Example one. Right. Be aware when you are giving the file name, don't give space bars. So example space one, it will be go wrong according to the C programming. So your file name should be without spaces, right? Example, right? Don't give a space like this, right? Without a space, put a file name and save. Right. So in your folder, in my folder, in my desktop, here I save C programming. There is only one file here. Can you see example 1.c? The extension is C. The type, see the type. It says C source file. C source file. So now we have to compile this one. I will show how to compile. Here there is a icon build, like a hammer shape or something, right? Say build. Click build. So it says successful build. It means it's compiled. It's translated to the machine language, in other term. Right. Now when you go, I'll go to again my folder. When you go to that folder here, you will find another two files. One is the application file and other one is the O file. That is the file it's compiled. Machine, this file is for the O file is for the machine. This one is the program that we develop. Right. To run the program, here click run. There is an icon, a running shape. Click run. So it say hello world here. Hello world. Right. To close this screen, we call console screen or command prompt. Press enter. Don't click the close button here. When you click here, everything will be closed. Again you have to reopen. Not to worry, but again you have to reopen. So press enter to return to the code. Right. Now we'll see the programming structure here. Right. So we tell there's a preprocessor. Preprocessor commands. Number one is the preprocessor command. So include stdio.h is a preprocessor command. It means it's a standard library. It's a standard library. It's include, right? It's from the library files. It's a header file. We call header file. We are including. We are calling IO mean input. Standard input output, right? So in a basically program there will be an input output. So in the C compiler library, all the functions related to the input output is already written for us in the library. Just we are calling that one. We are including that one to our program. We are including. So our program needs input and output. Here in this case we are going to use the output. Just we are going to put the hello world output. So you need to include that input output library files, header files to your program. That's why we put hash include stdio. That is we call preprocessor. Right? Before running the program, it's already pre-processed before. The next line int main. The next line int main is the function. Is the function here, functions. The second one. It's a function, right? Definitely in a program you should have a main function. You can later we will learn we can have more than main function. You can create your own function also. Anyway, In a program there should be at least a main function. That is the main function, and the main function there will be a curly bracket. We call this one curly bracket. This means the main function starts. This curly bracket, main function end. Main function end. Okay. So this is the main function start. So inside the main function we can write whatever you want, our statements. These are our statement, our variables. So the next line, we'll see this one. The next line is we call comment, right? Ignored by the compiler. If you want to make a note, right? This won't be compiled. When you are translating, when you are compiling, that won't affect your program. Whatever you want for your reference, you can write as a comment. You have to put a hash slash and a hash mark, and inside that hash and the slash mark you can type whatever you want, so that won't be affected your program. Just for your reference, any reference you can type that one. We can call comment. That's up to you. You can type anything, right? The next line printf the statement. It's a statement to print the hello world. Each and every statement you will have a semicolon. This is the semicolon. Right. So the printf is another time. The printf is a function. Printf is also a function which is already pre-processed in the IO file. Printf is a function to print on the screen. This is already defined in this IO header file in the pre-process. And here you will send the parameter what to print, hello world or your name, whatever you want. The return 0 is mean to terminate the program, to close the program, nothing to return, and terminate the program, close the program. So these are the main 5 structures at the moment you have to understand in your C programming language. So next we see C input and output. C input and output. So in the previous example we did the output, right? Simply we did the output. It's hello world, printf, right? If you want to input and output, input is something inputting using the keyboard or mouse. Mostly we use the keyboard. Like we'll see. When we say input, it means to feed some data into a program. An input can be given in the form of a file or form of the command line. C programming provides a set of built-in functions to read the given input and feed it to the program as per requirement. When we say output, it means to display some data on the screen or printer or if any file. C programming provides a set of built-in functions for output. So for the input also there are a set of functions. For the output also there are a set of functions. One we learn for the output function is printf. Here in the first example, right? There are not one. There are few functions for output and input. We'll see that standard files. For that one, C programming treats all the devices as files. So devices such as display are addressed in the same way as files. So it identifies everything file. Screen also, monitor also as a device, what we call a file. Keyboard also as a file, right? Mouse also as a file, right? Same way files and the following 3 files are automatically opened when the program is executed, provide access to the keyboard and the screen. Standard inputs, std-in, that is device keyboard. Standard output, std out, that is screen. Standard error, std-error, your screen, that also the screen. The file pointers are the means to access the file for reading and writing purpose. This section explains how to read values from the screen and how to print the result. How to get the value from the input device and from the keyboard, and how to display that value in the screen. So there are getchar and putchar function. Mostly we are not going to use this one. The next function is scanf and printf. Mostly we use that one. So here I'll go with this scanf and printf function because this is the one we mostly use. Later I'll explain if you want get the getchar and the putchar function. Right, just you can read it that one. If you don't understand the getchar and putchar, just you can ask me when I'm online. Here we will use the scanf and the printf function. These are the two functions we use mostly. Scanf, right? The printf we did in the first example to get a printf hello world, right? So the int scanf const char format, right? Not to worry about what are those, right? Later you will understand. Functions read the input from the standard input stream std in and scans the input according to the format. It scans the input from the keyboard. The int printf function writes the output on the screen. It will put on the screen printf standard output right to the screen. The format can be simply constant string, but you can specify right what is the output. It can be a string. String mean if it is letters. If it is letters, we'll use string. If it is a decimal number, we will put D. If it is a number, mostly number. If it is a character, we'll put C. If it is a float mean decimal numbers. 2.5, 32.13, those are decimal number. D mean decimal, just integers, no decimal, right? 1, 2, 3, 5, not 5.5. D, percentage D won't support 5.5. Percentage F support 5.5. That's we call float. When you are learning in the next lesson, the data types, you will get more idea. So string mean just sentences and letters. D mean numbers, whole number. C mean one letter. String mean more than one letter. C mean one letter. F mean decimal numbers. Right. So when you are going to put the output, you have to say the format. If it is a string, you have to say string. If it is a D decimal, you have to say decimal. Right, now we'll see this example. You have to type, not to copy. Yeah. So I will save this one file. Save as. You have to save it as example 2 or whatever you want. Example 2 or project 2. So include io.sto the header file. The main function in here. This is a variable str. Str is a variable name. Right, later in the next chapters we learned a variable also and the data type also. Str is a variable. Char is the data type. It's a character, letters. So you can give 100 letters to this maximum, 100 letters for this variable. int mean numbers. I is a variable. Right. Printf to print on the screen. Printf enter a value. So it will display the enter a value in the screen. So in the screen you are going to after seeing this enter a value, you are going to use the keyboard and you are going to enter a value scanf. So percentage S mean string, percentage D mean a number. So you have to enter a string value and a number value. So what the entered number value will be assigned to str. It means the string variable what we declared here. And if it is an integer, you have to put reference, you have to address and sign to the I variable D. So this is the input actually, scanf. And printf, again you are printing you entered the string, what are the value entered for the string, what the entered value, the decimal number. So it will be displayed here. These are the variables have to be displayed. This string will be placed here and this I will be placed here. Not to confuse this one. This value, you are getting a value for this one and that will be displayed here. This is the value getting for here. This will be displayed here. I will run and show. I will click build. close, run. So enter a value, here enter a value. So when you have to enter a string value, I say whatever, right? My, give a space and enter a value. So it say you entered my 25. Again I'll run. So I'll show again. I'll say Kumar, enter, and space, enter a value. So you entered Kumar 65. Press enter to return. So what is here, this, not to confuse, this is you have to display the string. When I cut this one and when I put it here, the entered of the string will be displayed here. Just to understand, I'll cut this one and put the here and here. So the string, whatever entered, it will come into the string, that will be displayed here. Whatever you entered to the I, it will be displayed here in the middle. Here, enter a value, Silva space 85. So here see the Silva is appearing first here. Where you put S, Silva is first. Right? Right. So this is the small program. So again I'll put this one here, percentage S, and a comma just to display percentage D. So when you compile again, it will be displayed. Leela 85. So you entered Leela 85. Right. And when you are typing the code, if you have any mistakes, so I will make this semicolon here. I will make this one, right? So when you run here, here there are some errors. When you type, you will have some errors. Not to worry, build. It will say unsuccessful build. So it's a in line 8 here. In line 8 there is a error, scanf. So this is the line 8. Here can you see in the bottom there is a line 8. See my mouse here, line 8. You can, when you hear line 9, 10, and I use up and down using the keyboard arrow keys, it's a line. So here you have to put a semicolon. That is line 7. Here there are, have to put str. And when I build again, there is a error. That's also an expected line error. Here I have to put a semicolon here. So you have to correct like that until to take the successful build. Right. Now here you have some exercises. I will run and show those exercises. You have to try by yourself. Not to copy, you can't copy from my tutorial. It's disabled. Here, int main, char variable, data type is char, username, they can enter 100 letters for the username, int age, printf, enter your name, just the screen under, scanf, entered name will be go to the string as a string to the variable username, and after that enter your age, and scanf taking that to the number decimal to the variable age. If it is an integer, you have to put the and sign. For the string, you don't need to name. And after that, you are printing. Here printf /n for the next line to move to the next line. Right? /n is to the move to the next line. I will show that your name is, and there should be a string. Right? The name should come whatever you entered here, the username. And the age is, the number should be come here. This is the age. And after that return 0. Now you have to compile this one, and when you run this program, enter your name. I will say Ganesh, enter. After that you will ask enter your age, 45. Your name is Ganesh and age is 45. See how the output. Right. Try and go through the coding. Right, this line, the /in for To move to the next line, here there is a gap. Can you see after the 8, right? I'll delete the slash and NC and build and close, run. Enter your name. I say Kumar, enter, age 25. So there is no line space here. Your name is coming next to the 25, right? Notice there is no line space between the entire age and your name is Kumar and age is, right? When you put slash and backslash, that is backslash 1, right? There will be a space, line space. Yeah. Enter your name, Kumar, age. Here there is a line space. Have you noticed that one? So that is the one. You can try. So the next exercise here. Enter 2 numbers and to add that one. You have to save that one each and every example. Here the main method, variables, num1, num2, answer. All are integer variables, numbers. Printf, enter number 1. Scanning that one and assigning to the num1. Enter the number 2, assigning to the num2 variable. And after that you are saying answer is equal to num1 plus num2. Num1 plus num2. So printf, the answer of, there should be a number plus, just to display the number, another number, just to display the equal sign, another number. These are the 3 numbers. First one is num1, num2 and answers. Calculated answer. I will run this one. So here enter a number 1, 85. Enter a number 2, 65. So the answer of 85 plus 65 is 150. This is the simple program. Now the exercise 3. Here int main, there is a char student name. You can enter 100 letters maximum. Integer variable, math marks, science marks, English mark. Another integer variable, total marks and average marks. Enter a student name, taking that student name to the variable student name as a string. After that, printf, enter the math marks for a string. The entered student name. If you enter Ravi, enter the math mark for Ravi. If you enter Kumara, enter the math mark for Kumara. So that should also be displayed. That is the string. It's coming from the variable. Enter the math marks for science. Enter the math marks for science, English. Right? After that, total marks is equal to math marks plus science marks plus English mark. Average marks is total marks divided by 3. And you have to print that one. Printf student name. There is a string, the name here. And slash t for a tab space. In the keyboard you have a tab space, mostly in the text editor. We will use the tab to align. Right, there is a tab space. After that it will display the student name. After that math mark. The marks, here math mark. And if, according to your screen you have to use the tab. Here I put 3 tab spaces, slash n for next line. Same like science marks, English mark, total mark, average mark. I'll run this program. Close. Run. Here enter a student name. I'll enter Silva. Enter the marks for Silva. Yes, enter the marks for Silva. 45. Sorry. Yes. Maths mark for Silva 45. Enter the science marks for Silva 865. Enter the English marks for Silva 55. So the student name is Silva. Here there is the tab space. Math marks is 45. Science marks is 65. English marks is 655. Total marks is 165. Average marks is 55. Right. So that is the one. This is exercise you have to write. We didn't provide the code. You have to think by yourself using the exercise 3 concept. You can use the exercise 3 concept to get an output like this. Here enter a customer name Silva. Enter the product one. For example, if he enter soap, he can able to enter any name. Here in my case it's a soap. Enter the product price 20, quantity, product name milk. Again he can able to enter 3 products. And after that it had to print a invoice, something like this. Try it yourself. If you have any doubt, you try first. After that, when I coming online, if you have any doubt, you can ask. Better to try it yourself and make the output. It will be very good and appreciate. Try it yourself. If you have any doubt, definitely I'll help. And I'm coming online. Thank you for watching C programming tutorial lesson 1. In the next lesson, we'll see the data types and the arithmetic operator.